Great. Welcome to our first webinar for 2025. I'm really so excited for this year. It sounds a bit cliche, but I'm going with the theme for 2020 Thrive. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for sharing a bit of your symptoms. I'm going to delve into that now. So, yeah, some of you might be here because you are experiencing a bit more bloating than normal. You have a bit of PMS. You might even feel you're more sensitive to coffee or alcohol. You're getting a bit of breakouts. You can see some dark circles under your eyes. And we all know that little bit of belly weight, the weight sitting around the middle. So if you have any of those, and also just if you want to learn and empower yourself with knowledge, then this session is perfect for you. So I just want to have a quick just want to quickly say this is a free Zoom, so I have 40 minutes. I think I'm going to finish in 40, but if I don't and be kicked off, just please join with the same link. Okay, but I'm sure we will finish. So I'm going to talk about detox, and then you're going to walk away with practical tools that you can do to help you prevent symptoms. And then at the end of the session, I'm going to open the floor up for some questions. So I'm so happy that you are here live because you get that quick feedback from me as well. Okay. So for those that are still joining in, please let me know in the chat box what symptom or reason brought you here today. I'm going to go through that shortly. So for those of you that don't know me yet, so I'm Bia. I'm the founder of the Happy Hormone Club. But it started because of my passion to help women with their hormones because of my own story. So I'm actually an environmental scientist. I have a master's degree and I worked as a groundwater specialist. But I lived like this parallel life where I was diagnosed with polycystic ovary syndrome when I was 20. I'm 33 now, so it's been many years of balancing my hormones naturally. But it didn't start like that. Like most of you, and most women, we have a symptom. We go to the doctor. And in my case, I had dark facial hair. And I was like, what is going on? I don't understand this. I feel very embarrassed about it. And eventually, with a lot of tests, they actually diagnosed me with PCOS or PCOS. And the only conventional thing was to put me on birth control. So I was like, okay, well, and it was sold as it's the fix, it's the thing that's going to fix me. I was on it for about 5 to 7 years. In that time, I gained about 20 kilograms. My mood was so bad. And I had these anger outbursts, and every, like, it didn't really fix me. I felt I had more issues on it than I had before. But as a researcher, with a real passion to always make a change, I was like, but there has to be something else. So I started looking into why do I have symptoms? And I realized symptoms is only the way the body communicates with us. If I look from an environmental perspective, and that is the quote I have on the sheet for you, is if the flower is not blooming, it's not flowering, we look at the environment. And it clicked. And I realized, well, what is in my environment that's causing all of these imbalances? So I went off birth control because I needed to know what is my real, true, natural environment looking like. And I realized, okay, I feel better, but there's a lot of more things that I can do. So I looked at nutrition and lifestyle, and I started to actually heal. My symptoms actually started to reduce. And I actually healed. I lost my 20 kgs. I balanced my mood. I balanced my hormones in a way that my flower, my cycle actually started to regulate. So 4 years ago, I took the leap of faith. And while I was still working, I studied holistic nutrition and I did my Pilates training course. Last year, I did a womb massage course, which is amazing for pain management, endometriosis. And I opened the Happy Woman Club. And I'm so happy to be with you today and to empower you with knowledge because that is the first step for you to look at your environment and start asking the questions. The most empowering thing is that you are actually in control because you are in control of what you eat, what you drink, how you manage your stress. Okay. So, does everyone have your worksheet ready? Just give me a heart. I did upload it in the chat box as well if you missed it. So we are going to complete page 2 together. So you can actually walk away with practical things that you can start tomorrow even. Okay. So let me quickly look at the chat box and just look at a few of the symptoms that we have here today.
Sorry, B.
Yes.
It's Tanya here. I can't see the your worksheet.
Okay, let me just see.
I don't know where I'm missing.
Let me just see if I can quickly upload it again. Okay, it's a PDF document. Let me just quickly throw it into the chat box for you. Okay, it's there. Tanya, let me know if you can see it. Okay, it's uploading. Just give it a few seconds. It's a PDF document and you're going to complete page 2. Okay, so a few of the symptoms that we're going to talk about, but I also want to make it relevant. So let's look at what are you struggling with. Cycle days. Cycle is a bit short, 19 days. Bloating.
Sure.
Okay. Oh, cycle, do you mean your menstrual cycle? That's a bit long. Okay. Detox advice, great. Eczema, hormone bloating, period twice a year, eczema, PCOS, hot flushes, estrogen. Okay, great. We're going to talk about all of it. So let's jump in. So when we talk about detox, I know it's a great word and we all know we have to do it, but you are actually currently detoxing. As we're sitting here, we're detoxing every second. So if you place your hand on the right side of your body, just on the ribs on the top, this is where your liver sits. Okay. So the liver is the main organ that flushes out toxins. The main thing about toxins, actually quite a scary thing. Like these pollutants are fat soluble, which means they are sitting in the fat cells mainly. So what the liver tries to do is it takes these poisonous, or the poisons as fat, and it breaks it down into water soluble particles that can actually be released in the body. So it's like an engine, really, because the engine works to break down things. So just like the car, your car needs fuel for that engine to work. And that is where nutrition plays such a vital role. And also, the engine does need a bit of service every now and again. Okay. So again, looking at that liver, we can actually divide it in phase 1 and phase 2. And these, I'm not going to go into too much detail, okay? But again, this is the way, and there's enzymes in the liver that breaks down these toxins. The liver is also responsible for breaking down hormones. And that is the beautiful connection between the liver and hormones. So the liver breaks down toxins and hormones, but if there's a lot of toxins, it will always prioritize toxins and not hormones necessarily, especially our estrogen as women. And if we look at a few of these symptoms that you are flagging now, the PMS, the bloating, all of those things is normally because the liver is actually struggling to break down estrogen. So I don't know if have you ever heard about estrogen dominance, so having too much of that hormone. Again, hormones are it's a beautiful symphony. We just need them in a specific balance. So there's no good or bad hormones, it's just a balance. Okay. So let me just see. Okay. So again, I just want to say there's nothing in the body that works in isolation. So we're going to focus a lot on the liver today. But doing these beautiful lifestyle changes and adding a few nutrients, it helps all of the other organs as well. Because the detoxification system is like a network. It includes the liver and the gallbladder, the gut, the lymphatic system, the skin. So all of those things is responsible for toxin removal and ultimately also hormonal balance. Okay, so if you have your list ready on page 2, let's start writing down your list. Okay, so the first thing that you can include in the increase list is cruciferous vegetables. It's such a simple thing. So the cruciferous vegetables is all the things like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, cabbage. The beautiful thing about this, it's such a powerful food as medicine tool because it helps phase 1 and phase 2 of the liver. So see how that actually helps break down, well, it helps the liver function so it can actually pull out those toxins in the fat cells and remove it from the body. Okay. One serving a day is great. One thing I want to just put it in the back of the mind, we're going to talk about it later, is it's important for me to always share things that's super sustainable and to help you make changes that are actually going to last. Because we always, it's a new year and we all have these things of we're going to stick to a lot of things and we're going to change a lot. Change is great. But we have to note that the nervous system, like the nervous system looks like a tree in the body, okay? It's a thing in the body that protects you. So the nervous system does not like change. It likes to keep you exactly as you are. Okay. So for you to make changes, you have to feel safe to make it. So that's why making small changes at a time is normally more sustainable than doing a lot of things at a time. Because what happens with that? You do a lot of things at once and you default to your old habits in a week or a month. Who can relate? Can anyone relate to that? Okay.
Yaku, tabii sahte lograr.
Okay. Let's see. Please just make sure your mics are off. Please don't ask on me.
Hi.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so the first one is cruciferous veggies, yellow. The second one is, I think a lot of you know this one, but is warm lemon juice in the morning. So the lemon is such an easy and powerful detox tool. So again, try and go for whole foods like a real lemon instead of the ones that you buy in a bottle. Because what happens when you buy those that are already processed for you, they normally pasteurize them and they kill, well, it's heated. And heat is not a friend of vitamin C. So you actually don't have any vitamin C in those bottles that you buy. So go for whole lemon. It's such a beautiful liver protector. So just as you have this vision of your liver as your engine, it's constantly breaking down these toxic poisons that we're exposed to. And this can be from breathing in the air we're in, from toxic air, the water, from not washing our vegetables and getting all those pesticides on, putting toxic products on our skin. So we constantly, and even having that fragrance thing in our house, like all of those things are actually being processed by the liver. Okay. So having a lemon in the morning in juice can protect the liver. The vitamin C is also very important for these phase 1 and 2 pathways in the liver. Again, it's like the petrol we need. Okay, so now you're getting some cruciferous veggies in, you're getting some vitamin C in, and some powerful phytonutrients, because it's not only about the vitamin C in lemons. Okay, another actually interesting thing about that, lemons help with fatty liver. So sometimes we think fatty liver comes from eating too much fat, but it's not that. It's because we have too much insulin. So lemons actually help with insulin sensitivity. So making the cells more sensitive to insulin so you can lose weight. Yes, ladies, that's one of the amazing things when we look at hormones, because insulin is also a hormone, is when we balance our insulin, get the insulin down, make the cells more sensitive to it, we actually lose weight naturally. This is a big one for ladies with PCOS. Normally the insulin is a bit out. Okay. So we have the first two, cruciferous, lemon, water. And the next one is turmeric. So turmeric again is such a powerful anti-inflammatory root. It is also a liver protector. Okay, so that is also as simple as adding turmeric with a bit of black pepper, because that actually helps the curcumin in turmeric to be absorbed. So you can make, they call it a golden milk. In a bit of milk, but I'll go plant-based milk, turmeric, bit of black pepper. That as a drink in the evenings is a great anti-inflammatory drink. Okay. Another way is just adding it to your stews or your curries. Yeah, again, a very simple way of helping to protect your liver. The next one, okay, these are the recipes that I shared with you in your in the worksheet. So these liver juices, they're more veggie based. So the first one is apple, beetroot, and carrots. Okay, so again, carrots, beetroots are great for the liver. Again, very high in nutrients. It's the petrol for the liver. So did you see my email yesterday of Sunal, one of my long clients, who had this eczema outbreak over the holidays? And she phoned me and said, what can she do? So all she did, we'll see on the reduced list, you'll see now what she's reduced. But she also just started drinking the juices. And literally in 2 days, her rash almost disappeared. And I love that because again, if we look at the environment and give the plant what she needs, our body normally self heals and self regulates. For me, it's always so amazing to see that. Okay, so these juices, again, you don't have to do it every day. You can do it, choose a month, or a week in a month, and do a juice every morning or something like that. So try and add a few things here and there, again, to make it sustainable. Okay. The thing with the juice is it's not just fruit juice. It's not high sugar content. It's more veggie based to get all those phytonutrients in. Okay. And the last one on this list that you can write down is doing castor oil packs. So I think a lot of people are more familiar with castor oil these days, which is great. It's such an ancient remedy. I think it comes from the Egyptians. So the idea of castor oil, you put it on topically, okay? So over the liver, over the abdomen. I use it a lot for my clients with PMS and period pain, with my clients with endometriosis as well. So it promotes flow to your abdomen, and if you put it over your liver as well. So again, it's getting blood to the organ, and it helps detox the liver. So again, such a beautiful way, so natural, that you can support the organs and look and work on the root cause. Okay, the main thing with hormonal issues and symptoms is finding out what is the root cause that's driving your symptoms. So looking at the environment. Okay. So let me just run over the 5 includes again. If you have any questions, pop them in the chat box for now or keep them until the end. So cruciferous veggies, lemon juice, turmeric, your ABC juices, or those 2 recipes that I shared. Another great thing is you can actually, in the one juice, you can add a whole lemon and add the whole, include the skin. The skin is also super nutrient dense. Okay. And it tastes nice. I like that. And then castor oil packs. A very exciting thing, I'm going to launch my own castor oil beginning in February. So just you're on my mailing list, so you'll know when it launches. And I'll explain exactly how to use it to make a castor oil pack for yourself. Yay, so excited. Okay, now let's move on to the reduce list. So the first one, and I know it's been holiday season, alcohol. Again, I want to say I'm not against anything. There's a place for it. It's all about balance. But alcohol is one of those things that it does put pressure on the liver because it does act as a toxin. And now instead of the liver working on your hormones and breaking down that estrogen, it's actually needing to work and break down alcohol. Okay, so again, not saying remove it completely, but looking at your symptoms, we can actually see it might be worth it for you to just reduce it. And don't do it on an empty stomach. I know a lot of us come back from work and we're tired and we pour the glass of wine. Rather do it with a meal. Okay. Slow and steady. Okay, ladies. The next one is cutting down on the sugars. So one thing that you can actually do is okay, I'm calling it reduce high fructose corn syrup. The thing about it is you'll see it in a lot of the preserved and the breakfast cereals and all those things. Fructose, yes, fructose fruit. Fruit is fine in its whole form. And you'll see if you join my menstrual cycle mastery course, I teach you all about whole foods and making all this sustainable change. Okay. But we are whole foods based. Okay, let's go fructose. Fruit in its whole form is great. It has fiber in. I think God made it perfectly. But now we are taking out all the fructose sugars and we putting it in something like a breakfast cereal. That is super hard on the liver. It also causes issues like the insulin resistance. So it contributes to things like PMS again, breast tenderness. Okay, because if the liver is under stress, it will show up as all of those type of symptoms. Okay, so cutting down on high fructose corn syrup. You'll also learn to look at a few labels and you're actually going to find it in a lot of things. The simplest way is if you go back to Whole Foods, you won't find it anyway. Okay. Okay, the next one that you can write down is pesticides. So we can't really get around it except if we grow our own or buy from farmers that we know. So for most of us, just wash your veggies. It's as simple as washing it with apple cider vinegar or bicarb, putting it in just washing it. Right. There are some veggie washes as well. There's a very nice one from Triple Orange. I can just spray your veggies and wash them. Okay, some pesticides. Number 4 on the reduce list is plastic containers. It's quite crazy to think that we've been using plastic for so many years and we've never realized the real big impact of it. There's a lot of studies that actually show that women with PCOS have like high levels of BPA. And I think most people actually do. So the BPA is the toxin that comes in plastic. So one of the things that happens is if you drink out of a water bottle that's heated, all of the toxins from the plastic actually infiltrates into the liquid. Another way it happens, and we always did this in school because it was so hot, we froze our water bottles, the plastic ones, and then drank from it. So another way of that toxin releasing is when you freeze it. So at least now there's a lot more options. So slowly switching over to glass containers and stainless steel bottles to carry your water in and store your food is the way to go. Okay, with these things, it is slow and steady because it's very expensive, but it's definitely worth it. Okay. And then the last one I want to say on the reduce list is, okay, I'm going to say preservatives. So something like if you look at the back of that chips packet and you see something with an E, you know it has to go through the liver. E250, E300, or whatever E is, all of those things needs to go through the liver. Okay. So what I included for you as a bonus is on page 3, I listed a lot of the ingredients that's actually in skincare as well, because the skin, again, absorbs everything on it, because they include things like phthalates that make things absorb into the skin, but they are actually very toxic for us. So you can slowly start switching out your products. You can look on my website. I stock a very nice, clean product range, but there's a lot of nice, clean products coming out. Okay. So let's just look at the reduce list again. Alcohol. It's the main lifestyle one that you're going to quickly feel the difference when you switch it out. Okay. High fructose corn syrup. Pesticides is number 3. Plastics, number 4. And then preservatives or skincare, number 5. Okay. Okay, so just take a breath, everyone. It sounds like a lot of things, but this is why I have the sticky note strategy for you on page 2. Okay. So what I want you to do is look at that list and write down in the chat one thing that you feel you want to start with. Just one thing. The main thing for us is not just keeping notes everywhere. Like, I love notes, but it normally stays there. But the main thing with the sticky note strategy is if you take one thing, and it can be as simple as you want to try a juice tomorrow or in a week, you're actually going to start implementing things. Because the main thing of this person now listening to this class is that you want to be someone with no bloating, no PMS, or you want to really prevent those hot flushes. But in between those two people and a new version of yourself is the small changes that you actually implement. Okay. So let's share. Let me know in the chat. What do you want to do? Yes, I have one. Throw away plastic. Oh, Zoe, thank you for sharing all the notes in the thing. Sugars. Great. Yeah, Karina, that's a big one. Okay, just a reminder, we might get, we have 9 minutes left on Zoom. If we go off, please just join with the same link. Okay. But please type in the chat box, what do you want to change? Adding ABC juices. Yes, yes. Great. Try the juices. They are great. And it's actually such a simple way of doing it. So I know on the detox idea is always you have to go hardcore, like 3-day super cleanse, water cleansers and juice cleansers. There's a place for it. For me, I'll always say, do it with a practitioner, because there's a thing called the healing crisis. So what happens now, once you reduce and include all of these beautiful things for the liver, what happens? The toxins in the fat cells actually go into the bloodstream. And then they process through the liver. So you normally feel worse before you feel better. Okay. That we call the healing crisis. But it's beautiful because you're actually releasing the toxins. But you have to know that working on the liver, you also have to work on the gut. Okay. Because now, if you're releasing all of these toxins in the body, they have to be actually released through the bowels every single day. Ladies, that is a very important thing. Gut health is a vital, vital part of hormonal balance. Because also, if we are having all of these hormonal symptoms, any breakouts, anything, all the symptoms that you listed, I always ask, do you actually have a bowel movement every day? A lot of my clients don't, but we fix it. Okay. Let me see the chats. What do you want to change? Yes, less plastic, stop sugars and the lemon juice. Great. Quit sugars, try castor oil packs. Great. Try castor oil packs. Amazing. I'm very excited for you to try mine. And then there's a question. Can you mix turmeric and lemon water? Yes, 100%. The main thing with turmeric is you actually just want to heat it. That's the main thing. That's how you activate it. Okay. So before I'm opening the group for questions, I want to share about menstrual cycle mastery because the main thing that we have and that we need when we implement all of these things, and I'm rooting for all of you doing all this exciting stuff, is you need time. Time is the magic ingredient. So what I do in menstrual cycle mastery is I mentor you for 3 months. We're in a private community and you have the support. The main thing I didn't have on my journey and that I wanted to create was the support. We learn so much from each other. And again, the nervous system, it's easier to make changes when you're in a safe space. Okay, so that's the main thing. 3 months, we do a deep dive on all of these things. We go blood sugar, liver, gut health. You learn about each of the symptoms. And it's very personal. So you actually, after 3 months, I have so many clients with no more PMS, no more pain. They understand PCOS. They put it into remission. So if you have any questions about that, please let me know. Send me an email, send me a WhatsApp. All of my numbers are on page 2 at the bottom. So if you want to join, we're starting the 5th of February. It's all online. The first month we're doing 4 classes, month 2, 2 classes, and the last month 2 classes. Okay? Okay, that's on menstrual cycle mastery. Okay, I have a question. I'm going to open up the floor for questioning. We have 5 minutes left on Zoom, so I think it's perfect. If you want to ask a question, please unmute and you can talk to me. I'm going to answer one from Tanya about caffeine. Yes, okay. So again, caffeine, I normally look at your symptoms. So if you are very fatigued, burnt out, and you have PMS, caffeine can definitely contribute to that and make it worse. So again, caffeine also affects the adrenal glands. So I think caffeine is one of the most difficult ones for most of my clients. But I'll say, start like this. Just stop doing it on an empty stomach. Okay. Because the main thing we're doing now is we're drinking a lot of coffee on an empty stomach and we're fasting for too long. And what happens, your body goes into survival state. And what happens, our cycle dysregulates. So Tanya, on the caffeine question, it does depend on your symptoms. But I've had clients that just stop caffeine on an empty stomach and their PMS stops in a month. Okay. So yes, it depends on where you are. Does it answer? Green tea is still caffeinated, but it has more antioxidants. So I think green tea is a better option. Okay. For me, one of the things with lifestyle, and again, why I love the course, is that we have the time. You want to know what's your baseline energy level because we're using all of these stimulants and we don't really know what the natural energy levels that we have are. Okay. My thought on bioidentical progesterone, a question from Kate. Bioidentical is the right word. It gets a tick. So yes, firstly, the body makes progesterone when you ovulate. So again, the analogy on page 2, when the flower blooms, or doesn't bloom, we look at the environment. Our body makes or ovulates naturally every single month. If you ovulate, you make progesterone. If you don't ovulate because of environmental toxins, factors, stress, not having enough nutrients, over-exercising, fasting too long, and you're not ovulating, your progesterone levels are normally very low. Okay, so it's for us to actually see how we can get your body to ovulate naturally, make that beautiful egg. Because once the egg pops, you make a corpus luteum, and that's where progesterone comes from. Okay. So bioidentical progesterone is completely fine because is made from like yams, which gives you progesterone. So I'll say we can work on getting nutrients so you can ovulate, but working with bioidentical progesterone is fine. Okay. Okay. Any other questions? You're more than welcome to unmute yourself. Ladies, I'm so happy you're here. Yeah.
Sorry, be it Tanya here.
Yes.
Do you have any specific courses on menopause?
You know what? I've got so many requests. So I do see menopausal women, yes. I do online consultations as well. And I've been working on menopause mastery. So that will be my next online course as well. Yeah.
Okay, so we can just do it privately.
Yes, we can do it privately.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, great.
Great,
Thanks.
Tanya. Okay. Any other questions? Let me see if I missed anything. Okay, ladies, so today I'm going to wrap it up. If there's no other questions, let me just see. So thank you for joining a very short and sweet, powerful, hopefully, message about your body can heal. Okay, you can look at your flower and we can look at your environment and we can use nutrition, we can use lifestyle, we can use natural supplements and products and castor oil to help that beautiful flower of yours to bloom. Okay. So please keep me updated how you go with the detox. Let me know how you feel. If you have any questions about menstrual cycle mastery, please pop me a WhatsApp, an email. I would love to assist and go on a beautiful healing journey with you all. And yeah, I hope you learned something new today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yella.